Hello. Today I'm going to delve a little bit more into whistleblowing, though I did cover it before. I'd like to delve more into the psychology behind it. However, let's make sure we're all on the same page regarding terms and concepts and definitions. Whistleblowing is when an employee discovers wrongdoing of some sort. There's a very wide umbrella of wrongdoing, fraud, consumer harm, abuse. It was first acknowledged legally in 1778. The founding fathers essentially made a statement that if you are one of these people that discovers something like this is happening, you do have a moral obligation and a duty to say something. It the whistleblowing laws, they ideally protect employees from retaliation, various forms of retaliation, and so that they can feel comfortable or not feel that they're at risk if they need to speak up. And the ultimate point of this is to stop wrongdoing, stop unethical behavior, stop immoral behaviors. Now, I got these three factors. This is the social psychology of whistleblowing. The three factors are personal, situational, and cultural. And these factors were shared in the three factors of whistleblowing on a website called Integrity Indonesia by Putri Pertiwi. And though he is not particularly an expert, this infographic that you're looking at was also the same one used in a 2015 study by James Dungan, Adam Waite, Leanne Young, all psychology PhDs, very experienced. They published this study in the Current Opinion in Psychology called the Psychology of Whistleblowing. So there's an overlap, and Pertiwi's findings I feel are backed up well. Now, first, personal. When we're saying the three factors, we're basically talking about what factors come into a person's life, mind, actions when they're deciding if they want to say something. The first thing is having an internal versus an external locus of control. An internal locus of control kind of is someone that believes they have the power to make decisions. Meanwhile, someone with a more external locus of control would be maybe someone that would say, like, well, I can't do anything about that. It also just comes down to a person's character traits. Um, any specific person is going to handle this a different way depending on the person that they are, the things that they value. Um, and also on a personal level is your personal relationships, the peer pressure you can feel to not say something or to say something, the ostracization you can also experience by choosing to say something or not saying. Essentially, if you look at my picture here, making yourself a black sheep in the workplace. Now, situational, this is going to be the situation and environment the person is actually in. This includes workplace attitudes. What are the people? Is this in a workplace of open communication? Is this a place where people speak up against management? What kind of place is this, right? Accessibility to support. Are they informed of their rights? This poster here, right next to my text, is an example of a poster that should be put up in any workplace. This is informing people of their rights, and I believe it is legally mandatory to have something up like this. Rights protections, as covered by the poster, people can remain informed. Ease of access to this information. Managers, employers should not make it so you have to jump through hoops to reach the route you need to speak up on a concern. And lastly, is your manager supportive? Is your manager the one committing these actions? Um, Basically, is this going to be encouraged or discouraged? Lastly, we have cultural as a big influence in making this decision. Um, Morality varies very much between cultures and societies and countries. Though the website I cited previously that came with these three factors was from Indonesia, I still feel it's very relevant. There are some Asian cultures that are more about collectivism. This means that the group comes ahead of the individual. Meanwhile, in America, we're very about individualism. Me, us first. Do what's best for us instead of what's best for the group. Sense of loyalty. Very, very interesting is that study I cited by Dungan et al. Was basically posing the issue of whistleblowing as this moral conflict between fairness and loyalty. That they also found that people are more likely to act if they feel personally wronged, if they feel something is unfair. So, discovering something like cheating or unequal pay that affects them. Of course, the more something affects someone personally, the more likely they are to act, right? Family, upbringing, values, groupthink. Self-explanatory here. Now, how does this affect the employee and the employer? Here's some things you can go ahead and read about the negative effects on the employee. And unfortunately, through my research, I found a lot of these effects are mostly negative. Um, Now, there was a 2018 comparative study called Mental Health Problems Among Whistleblowers. It was published in Psychological Reports by Peter G. van der Velden et al. And Peter is a senior professor in mental health research for a very, very long time and has been published in many different academic journals. Now, some pretty radical findings here is that there is a significant rate of mental health issues among whistleblowers. 85% of them reported severe anxiety, depression, agoraphobia, interpersonal distrust, and sleep problems. And this stress from whistleblowing, you might think is acute. Well, once the whole situation blows over and everything's okay, right, they'll be okay. They actually found these mental health issues are long lasting. They can even become chronic. But what makes this so harmful? Is it the whistleblowing itself? It's not. It's the retaliation. The employer, what will the employer experience if being accused of an immoral act? Reputation damage. I mean, this stuff hits the media. There have been some really landmark stuff. I unfortunately don't recall his name, but there was a man who discovered the true extent of the harm behind tobacco products. That was one of the biggest whistleblowing cases in history. And you'd bet that the industry took a lot of damage to their reputation, though not enough to bring them down. Monetary losses and reduced business. People hear these things, people hear how companies have been acting, and a lot of people say, I don't want to support this company anymore. And the employer can also be sued. They can also get in very serious trouble. There's fines, imprisonment, all these variety of legal repercussions, which unfortunately, these legal repercussions can also kind of be deflected back on, right? The employer can maybe end up suing the whistleblower for something like defamation. So it's a whole lot of legal issues here. But who is ultimately affected by whistleblowing? You and me. It it is pretty much all completely in our benefit. The things that people are blowing the whistle on are harmful things if they end up being true. Think of all the products and services you use just on like a weekly basis, right? You want them to be safe. You're hoping that these businesses, organizations, monopolies, all this are being transparent with you. You want to trust that they're giving you the right information. Also, granting us the personal freedom to assess risk. For example, that big tobacco that I was talking about, we need to be able to provide the consumer the freedom of choice. Because despite those findings years and years back about tobacco and how the extent of those negative effects, people still have chosen to consume it. But at least they had that choice. And less misconduct, less tomfoolery. Ultimately, I think whistleblowing is so crucial because it benefits the most the everyday person. Therefore, this is essential. Whistleblower protections aren't ideal yet. There's still a long way to go. And unfortunately, even if on paper retaliation is discouraged, it still occurs. It still can be very hard to prove. I mean, imagine you discovered something at your job, right? And imagine it's the best job you've ever had. It was your dream job. Now you're stuck, right? Should I say something? Should I not? I could lose this dream job I have. Everyone will think that maybe will think that I'm a liar, right? I could be put through the legal ringer. We need to put protections in place so that these people don't have to fear these things. Okay. I really appreciate you listening. I hope you took something valuable from this. All right. Thank you.